Hello and welcome to my pick a card reading. This reading is about our life's purpose, if we're on the right path, ways to get there, things to do to make sure we follow the right path. So we have 5 different card piles. Take a deep breath and see which one resonates with you. We have group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. Take a deep breath and let's start with group 1. So I get the feeling this group is likely not on their current life path. I feel that they might be heading towards it right now, like on their way, kind of, that they're leaving something behind to move towards something new. I get the impression that there's this new situation that's kind of happened in their life, this new kind of commitment or plan or something, and they're kind of headed towards that. So I feel that this group is moving towards their life path, but they're not there yet. And what they were doing previously wasn't actually their life path. I do get the feeling that it will be something, it might take a while to get there, that this might be something a bit isolated, that it might be something that you are very good at. I think you'd be very, very good at whatever this is. I do think that it will become a long-term commitment. I just think that it's not something that has quite happened yet. For some of you, this might be like a teacher or a protector or a mother or a parent as well. Maybe it's something, if you are going to one of those like in the near future, that might be part of it as well, but not for all of you. Again, this is a general reading. And I am seeing that, yes, this group is not aligning with their life purpose right now. That they haven't quite reached it yet. I do see that this is a definite no here. Support around you is the starfish. This says that you may have been really preoccupied with like outward appearances, how people perceive you, and not following your own dreams. So I think what's going on now is that you've kind of started to kind of come into your own self, like the strength of your own like wants and needs it may be what's going on, and you are starting to leave all of these, you know, maybe egotistical desires to look a certain way or to act a certain way based on societal standards. So I do see that you are kind of looking down, like more into like your artistic expression, and I think that that's going to kind of help you move forward towards your life path. But there is this need to like make sure that you're not like being extremely shallow and focusing on the outward appearance, and to be very superficial. There's a need to move away from that and to go more into, you know, what have you put aside and what aren't you acknowledging within yourself and what you want, and to focus on what you actually really want, and to kind of move more towards you know, your own goals instead of focusing on what you think you need to do, or, you know, how other people perceive you. I get the impression that your life purpose will show up pretty soon. That you will get some inspiration fairly soon about what you need to do, and you will be filled with enthusiasm. It'll be a healing idea. It will make sense and bring like a peace to you when you realize it. So if you're kind of searching right now for like what you want to do and it's causing you a lot of grief, we do see that there will be this strong connection to something coming up, and it'll show itself this burst of inspiration and burst of enthusiasm to create it. And there is this acknowledgement here that this is like a healing light as well, and that any of this grief or upset or confusion will go away once you get this inspiration of what you're supposed to do, like what your life purpose actually is. So I do see that you will need to do a bit of inner reflection here, because it looks like you have been ignoring your inner desires a lot and been focusing on what's kind of expected of you. And your life purpose will also involve, for some, will involve being a parent. I see that. I also see for some people it's more of something that involves a lot of, you know, supporting and stabilizing energies. So you will know your core values and who you really are when you know, like when you figure out what this inspiration is. It will, because you know your core values and who you really are, and you will be able to just go after that. This is a very stabilized energy. It's more of a masculine energy, but it is very headstrong as well. So I think that once you figure out what it is, you will kind of go for it, and you will strive to accomplish it and to really succeed at that. And I do see, like, this here is a very strong, like, mother energy. So I do think that some of you, it will be either being a parent or growing like an individual business, or like the business is like your own, like, you know, child. So I see for some of you, it will be kind of growing, and one of those kind of things from a new beginning to a larger thing. But we do see here, this is a commitment. So whatever you start will be this larger commitment, and you will be kind of very nurturing to it as well, because these here would be more of like the mother feminine and the father masculine energies. So there is a strong parental energy in some way, form here. So again, it could be a new business, like your own small business. It could be being a parent. It could be some kind of nurturing. It could even be having lots of animals, like something with that kind of caring, nurturing, and like growing energy. So I do think for most of you, this is going to be like a small business and entrepreneurial situation, because your skills to develop are going to be looking at financial opportunities, seeing any new situations that may arise around you that could lead to, you know, financial success, or just new opportunities in general around you. So just looking for that inspiration is key, I think. Looking around and seeing what could come from different things, and waiting for the inspiration to go with this financial opportunity, as well as looking and doing something that's only something that you really desire, like making sure that it's something you're extremely passionate about, and it's not something that you're doing just because you feel like you should be, or that it would do well. You need to make sure you avoid overworking yourselves when you go into something like this, where you're being both a mother and like a father figure to a business or do something. It can be quite challenging because you have so much work to do, and you have so much stress and burden. So it's saying that you need to make sure that you don't overburden yourself, don't take on too much. I'm getting the impression that once you commit to this, you are going to 100% fully commit to this. I see this, you know, undying enthusiasm. I see this like extreme commitment to make something work, and I see this desire to kind of like, you know, go for every opportunity you see. So I think that there's going to be a need not to overcommit yourself, because there is a difference between, you know, steadfastly going towards something and just taking on way too much to handle. So we're going to make sure that you avoid overworking yourself when you're going towards your life's purpose. And then finally, as a last final message, we have, there's a stream of love supporting my dreams. So I honestly really think that your life's purpose is your own business, your own entrepreneurial idea, working for yourself, creating something. Maybe it's artistic, maybe it's you know, selling a skill, but I do think that it is definitely something more entrepreneurial and working for yourself, because there's just so much love supporting your dreams. And I do think that this is probably something that you haven't been doing because you don't, I think you have a lot of doubt towards it. I think that there's a lot of self-doubt and a lot of unknowing, like unsure kind of what to do. And it's possible that you've been working at trying to make your own business in the past, but you've been too focused on, you know, what you think would sell or what you think you should do. Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you very much for watching. And let's do group number 2. I would say for most of you, you are on your life's path. I would say that you're probably, you know, been at it for a while, and you're kind of seeing, like, you're wondering if this is going to go anywhere, is the impression that I'm getting with this. And I'm seeing that you are coming from this position of, like, you feel like it's a dead end, but in reality, it's just a very long journey, and it will end in success, in happiness, in victory. So don't get discouraged because it looks like it's taking a very long time, or like you're not getting the results that you want and it feels like a dead end, because it's not actually a dead end. It's just a very long journey. For some of you, it could also be travel. This could be travel to get to what you need to get to as well. And there will be a lot of people who are helping you. This isn't a solitary journey. There are going to be lots of people. Probably outside is important to you. Maybe you work outside. Maybe you do a lot of meditating or thinking outside. But it's not a solitary journey, even though you may feel like you're not getting anywhere or you're not moving. It's just going to take a while. It's a long, think about the long term, like the end game versus the near future. This might take you years to get where you want to get, but you are on your right path. I get the impression that you're not quite aligned with it. I feel that you feel that it's taking too long, and that it's not the path that you want, and that you just don't understand why it feels like this dead end, when in reality the journey is just a very long journey. I also feel like that some of you think that you're kind of being like screwed over, that it's like not working out, that it's not going to happen, that you're going to be left out in the dust and left in the cold and kind of defeated, very much defeated. But the truth is, it's just a very long journey, and there's going to be moments, like right now, there's moments where you're not really accomplishing much. It seems like you're not accomplishing much, but really you've accomplished so much, and you're just at the point, like stop and go kind of thing, and you're at the point where you're looking back at what you've accomplished and looking forward to what you're going to accomplish. And so while it feels like a dead end, like you're just in the middle of nowhere and you're not getting anywhere, in reality, you are making progress, slow and steady progress towards the success. And I get the impression that many of you feel that way because you're still like a novice, how you say that. You're just kind of beginning your journey. You're not, like, you're working towards mastery, and so I think that's why it's taking so long, because you have to learn everything. So you've just kind of begun what you're doing, and I think some of that upset is coming from because it's taking longer than you had hoped. I think some of you had thought it would be like, 2 months and you'll be done, but a life purpose is like, it's an entire life's journey, right? So I think that you've just kind of begun this life's purpose, and so you need to work towards it, grow, become more skilled, become a master at what you're doing. So while other people may see you as like this knowledgeable person, you are actually kind of just beginning your life's purpose. So instead of, having this feeling of defeat and feeling like you've been kind of let down by, the dead end and how long it's taking, you should look at this as like just an overall long-term learning experience of life, and come into this in earnest to kind of learn and to grow as you go about your life's purpose. And again, your mission is just starting. It's just so small and so new, and you're so guarded because you care about this so much. So you're trying to protect it so much so that it actually grows into what you really, really want it to be. I'm getting a lot of new energy despite how long it looks like you've been planning for this. So my impression is that you've been planning for this for quite a while, but my impression is that you haven't actually started, working towards it until fairly recently, and that's why I think you feel like you're at a dead end right here, because the impression I've gotten is that you just kind of, held this for so long, and maybe you've had to do a lot of learning, maybe you've had to do a lot of schooling, maybe you've had to do a lot of planning, pre-planning, and so now that you've done all that, I feel like you've just kind of started to develop what you're doing and started to move forward. And so you're looking back at all of this stuff you've done, and you're like, well, why isn't it going quicker? Why aren't I doing it faster? And I think that's what's bringing a lot of this negativity, but it's just because you really, really, really want this to work out, and you care about this idea so much, and you're worried that it's going to disappear because it's so small and so fragile. And it is telling you to be patient. It is telling you that you need to wait until it's the right time. So this idea is going to grow, and it's going to get bigger, and it's going to expand, and you're going to mature, and you're going to grow, develop more skills. But you need to give it some time. It's going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it will happen, and you are on the right path. It's just a matter of being patient, looking inside yourself, working on it, being diligent, and not getting overwhelmed with just how long it's taking. Because this is definitely going to take a while. It's definitely going to be a process, but it looks like you're getting there, and it looks like it's something very important to you, and it does look like it's something that will bring success. So just have patience, and just rest, cool off, just take a time, and just gather up your strength inside. And watch out for, again, negatively, this can mean feeling stuck and lashing out, which could come back in this negative, like feeling like you've defeated and you've kind of lost. So just make sure that you avoid trying to feel those ways and get back into alignment with your life path. You know, stop feeling like this is a dead end, because it's not a dead end. It is moving forward. It's just still extremely new. Talents to develop are foresight, expansion, preparation, looking to the future. It's planning as much as possible to get the success that you want. So while you're kind of waiting for this to happen, plan for success. Keep up doing what you're doing and look to the future to see how you can make this work even better. Those are your talents to develop as you go about your life path. Preparedness, expansion, and setting long-term goals. Because this is such a long-term life path, it's saying set long-term goals as well. So you have the places to go when you go through all of these obstacles, because I do see that obstacles are going to be a big thing in this life path. Obstacles and detours in the right direction. So I do see some of this, this negative feelings might be because of all the obstacles that you've been experiencing and are probably going to continue to experience. So make sure that you prepare for those and make sure that you have long-term goals, so that when those happen, you know how to kind of get around them and deal with them, and do make sure that you have the patience to deal with them as well, and not get so frustrated by them. Because no matter what happens, I don't see this, crumbling. I think there is this fear it's going to crumble, but I don't see it crumbling. I see it becoming quite successful. So I don't think there's really a real need to be like petrified of the obstacles that are going to happen. I think that everything will work out okay, so long as you have the patience and the foresight to prepare for obstacles and for your far future experiences as well. This is going to be a bit of a conflicted one. This is a general reading, so it won't apply for everyone. But things to avoid, I think for some of you I think are going to remain childless. Not all of you. I think just some of you aren't going to have children, because this is the card of like a nurturing mother, nurturing parent. So I do think that some of you are going to not have children, which is fine. I think for others, it might be avoiding a negative mother figure, or avoiding like a negativity in some kind of, motherly woman figure who's around. It also could be just trying to find balance at home and at work as well. It could be just trying to find that balance. It could also be trying to not focus so much on gaining financial gain and like not working just for financial prosperity. You could see some of your frustration as well might be because you're not getting the financial prosperity that you want so quickly, because you have all of that buildup that has to happen. So for some of you, it could be not focusing on how slowly the money is coming in as well, and not doing the work just to get money. That could be something to avoid for some of you as well. Again, this is a general reading, so not all of this may apply. Only take what applies to you, because this is for many different people in different life stages, and I'm just giving up every reading that every little bit of information that I am receiving, I'm just giving it off. So this could mean different things depending on the person who's watching it. So just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Okay, and I think that's everything that I'm getting. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, and let's do group 3. Okay, for this one, I want to say that you're probably not on your life path, or if you are, you're worried that you're not. But I want to say that you are comfortable financially and emotionally. You're comfortable, but I see a lot of anxiety, maybe an illness as well, and a lot of burden, a lot of worry, a lot of struggle going on right here. I think that it's not, this life that you have is not what you thought it was going to be. That's the impression that I'm getting. I'm thinking you went after something that you thought was your life path, and now you're comfortable and now you're happy, but I feel like it's turning out to be kind of deceptive, and it's not exactly what you had thought it was going to be. And I feel that you feel like you feel like it's almost taking away from you. It's just having all this anxiety being put on you. and a lot of burdens being put on you. So I feel like you're finding this life extremely overwhelming, and just the demands that it has as well, just the amount of burdens that you have to take to uphold this. So maybe you're working too many hours, or maybe, you know, if you're in school it's hard, or if you have a family, maybe it's just difficult to keep everything together. But I have a feeling that you feel almost deceived now that you have this success and security going on. Okay. So I don't think you're quite aligned. I don't think you're fighting it either. I think you're at this phase where you're kind of really thinking and contemplating where you are in life and where you want to go. That's the impression that I'm getting. I'm thinking you're looking over your life and what you have and what's going on, and all of your anxieties and all of the responsibilities that you have. And I think you're really contemplating all of that. I do think that you're kind of trying to step back and mentally relax and rest from all of your anxiety and maybe, you know, all of the stuff you have to go on. You're trying to really pull back and focus on that. Your support is that you are able to kind of look deep within and see what you really want, to get the golden egg. So it looks like, you know, this rest, relaxation, and looking deep within is really what's going to help you figure out the cause of why you're so anxious and upset and overburdened by what's going on in your life, because you do have that security and that stability going on. It's just something is not quite clicking with you, and it does look like you need to kind of look into your heart and see, you know, what you're hearing deep within, what do you really want. This card does reference the fourth chakra, the heart chakra. So maybe if you are into chakras and meditation, maybe do some meditation on, you know, on your heart chakra, and, you know, what you really want with your life, with the situation, and do take that, you know, that mental relaxation, which could be meditation as well. Maybe meditation would be a great thing to try, to see, you know, what the source is of all of that anxiety and burden, and use that as support to kind of clear your mind a bit more as well. So it looks like your life purpose, or your mission on earth here, is diving for light, the diving for light card. This is the card of being brave and going through a lot of spiritual journeys. This card is the card of dealing through bad life situations and coming out on the other side of learning lots of different experiences, and being able to kind of grow from those. The key to this card is to kind of accept what's going on, but not let it control you or destroy you or bring you down. And I see that there is you have kind of developed those coping mechanisms as well, the relaxation and the calming and the ability to kind of look deep within you to kind of see what you want. So there is some of that stillness going on, which is great, because those are necessary when you have the diving for light card here. And I'm seeing that's probably what's going on as well. You're probably going through this, you know, this pretty bad life situation right here, when a lot of so much anxiety and all of that as well. And I think that you are going through quite a dark night of the soul situation. That's what I'm seeing here. And I think that despite all the stability and you know, you might have here, which is this is traditionally emotional happiness, financial stability, and just being secure in life, you are going through this, you know, this pretty difficult situation. And I see part of your purpose in life here is to kind of, you know, prepare and organize life situations, and to kind of be very detail oriented. There's also nervousness going on here, being nitpicky and kind of doing a bit too much, and kind of needing to be aware of what needs to be changed and what doesn't need to be changed. So I'm getting the impression here that your life purpose, at least at the moment, is kind of trying to fix and solve these bad experiences in your life. So I'm guessing that you're using these detailed orientated skills to kind of put back together, you know, any negative experiences that are going on, and kind of using this the preparation of this to work your way out through this bad situation. Now I will say, I think I'm getting a lot of calmness and meditation, so I'm guessing that You probably are quite spiritual, and you probably are in tune with meditation, with your own desires, and looking into yourself and seeing what you really want. I think with a life purpose that's this intense, it might be a bit difficult, which you can see here in the anxiety and the cross. We also have, this is neat, we also have the mouse here as well, double shown here. So I'm guessing that this mouse here is probably also you being very detail orientated and trying to control a lot of things. So I have the impression that maybe things aren't the way you want them to be, despite how they are. So I think there's going to be a need to kind of look deep into yourself and kind of see the world for what it is versus what you want it to be. That's the impression that I'm getting. I might not resonate with all of you. And this card also, the purpose of going through the dark night of the soul with this card is to develop like a brave and fearlessness about life, and to like look at life and view it as the mysterious journey that it is. It's also used to kind of help gain like creativity and artistic expression through the darkness, and using those struggles to kind of help you express all of those things as well. And I do see this need to kind of stay in your heart chakra. I think the heart chakra is quite important here. I think you really do need to keep those, you know, those good feelings, the empathy, the compassion, all of those good feelings while you go through this negative experience or this challenging experience, just so you don't become kind of bogged down by what you're experiencing. So I do think that the heart chakra will be quite important for you, this group as well, just as you are going through this diving for light experience. So there is this need for unconditional love with the diving for light card as well. So I do think that it is important to focus on your heart chakra here as well. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So I do think that there is this need to focus on love, on your heart chakra, on the artistic and spiritual growth you will get as you go through your life path as well, and knowing that if you keep the unconditional love, you will get through everything. And this is a spiritual journey and an artistic journey, and it'll be one that will develop, you know, courage and fearlessness as you go about your life. Talent to develop is kind of go with the flow. Know that life has ups and downs. Know that there's this fate or karmic experiences going on. So it is quite possible that you are undergoing a karmic lifetime right now, which could explain why you have such a difficult life purpose, which is diving for light. It's also possible that you experience cyclical changes in your life quite often, quite dramatically. So good to bad, you know, abundance to loss kind of thing as well. So a talent to kind of develop is just acknowledgement of the cyclic nature, of the karmic nature, and to kind of go with the flow and know that life turns as life turns. And there's that acceptance, like there is a need to accept what's going on, to not become bitter. We see that in the Four of Swords and the Golden Egg, which is looking deep down to your heart to see what is the true, and the unconditional love as well. What to avoid would be wishfulness, looking at what you wish you had, what you look at all the things that you want, kind of getting lost in daydreams. Try not to, you know, look at the life you have and what's going on, and try not to compare it to what you wish your life was. That is something to definitely avoid. We do see a lot of just radical acceptance in this reading as well. Just a radical acceptance of what is going on in your life, and trying to find the unconditional love, and trying to kind of plan and prepare for everything without becoming nitpicky or too anxious, and to acknowledge that like there is this security in your life. There is financial and emotional security in your life, so that is definitely a positive. But I see that's kind of overburdening you, and it's kind of making you anxious, and it's making you very worried, and it's almost a lot of burden going on with you right now. Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. 4. Okay, so I get the impression that you are not on your life path. I feel that you are too scared to go for it. I think you have a lot of problems, a lot of negative situations going on in your life right now, and I think you are too scared to kind of jump in and go for what you want. A lot of nervous energy here going on. Maybe a lot of negative people in your life, maybe a lot of negative gossip going on. But I see a lot of negative energy and a lot of problems. I think these problems have been going on for a very long time, and that's kind of why you become so closed off. I think there really is going to be a need to kind of open up and unclose yourself, or you're not going to find and align yourself with your life purpose. Because we see you're not aligned with your life purpose. I'm getting the impression that you feel like you don't have one, that you kind of let that in the cold, and that it's not for you to have a life purpose, is the impression that I'm getting. But really, it's just because you kind of closed yourself off from, the greater life purpose, because you've had so many long-term experiences going on here. They're really bad experiences. We have the snake and the whip. The snake is one of the worst cards in the Lenormand deck. This could be, gossipy people, could be another woman, it could just be this problems and negative situations just constantly repeating themselves. I do see some gossip. I do see a lot of negative energy going on here, and I feel that you've kind of closed yourself off from going after and finding a life purpose. Support around you is that there is likely someone around you who is extremely compassionate. This is a person who has a lot of stability, strength, and depth, and who is really emotional and is really good at helping you express yourself emotionally. Now, this card could also mean that a need for you to kind of delve deeper into yourself, to do some self-care as well, and to have some self-compassion with yourself, to kind of create this inner calm, support within yourself as well. So that is something that can support you on your way towards this life path. And your life path is in the world, not of the world. This says that your life path is to strip away all of your beliefs, all of the things that you've been taught to learn, everything that you thought you were supposed to do or to know, to kind of strip those away. It's saying that you need to get away from what is socially acceptable and kind of trust yourself to become who you're supposed to be and to go after what you need, what you really want. So your life purpose right now is to move away from all of these negative beliefs that are kind of holding you in, what you've been told to do, which again, this could all be you being told to live a certain way, like socially, and it could be you not being able to really fit in with that. And this is saying, practice self-care, find compassionate, like-minded individuals, and kind of get rid of whatever's not working for you anymore, and really go after what you think is right. Go after, trust yourself to know what is right. And I do think there is quite a bit of gossip around you and rigid thinking. I want to say some of you are in a very, very structured household, maybe highly religious, maybe not supportive of, certain lifestyles. And I want to say that some of you feel like you can't really be your authentic self. This card is saying that there is a lot of negative energy going on, rigid thinking, aggression, a lot of need to follow orders, and also gossip. A lot of gossip going on with this card if it is misaligned. So there is a need to kind of break free again from this. So we are seeing the break free. So what I'm getting from this, very strongly, is there is this rigid kind of holding yourself in structure. We have the aggression, the gossip, the rigid structure here, and the need to really break free from that. I am seeing that whatever situation you're in, someone has a biting tongue, and I do think that you aren't able to live your authentic self, and you feel like you can't actually become the person that you are inside. So there really is this need to develop self-care, self-compassion, delve deep into who you are, get that strong, steady, safe place inside of yourself, and develop that person. Because I just see a ton of gossip around you. I just see so much gossip around you right now, and it's a very negative gossip. It's a lot of negativity and anger going on. Okay, this is saying you really need to find like-minded individuals. Again, you really need to find your group of people. You need to find that playfulness, lightheartedness, and that fun. So definitely search out people who aren't going to be so negative in your life, because you really do need that supportive group in your life right now, so you can go towards who you really are and follow your inner trust. I am seeing that you are dependent on these people, I want to say, in some way. You feel like you're dependent on them, at least. They might be financially dependent on them. They could be a parent, a spouse, a family member, someone you feel like you're dependent on. And there is kind of a need to get away from that dependence on them, because even though if you feel like that's your community, if they're treating you that negatively, then are they really your community? Right? There is this need to kind of create your own community who actually support you. So things to avoid is kind of focusing on these negative people as your community, as someone who you're, dependent on financially, or, socially, or just in general. There is a need to kind of try to avoid that, because it's extremely aggressive and it's extremely negative, and it's making you feel hopeless and closed off from the world, and you're not able to kind of live your authentic self. So a last closing thought is, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. So again, this is just saying that if you have this closed off energy, and you just feel like, this is all you can have, or all you're worth, you're going to continue that, and you're not going to actually become, your authentic self. But if you decide to go after this calming, steady, empathetic self-care, like a deep core, then you can manifest your true self, going after what is extremely important to you, and getting rid of all of those outdated, unneeded societal standards or false beliefs. Okay, and I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. And group 5. Okay, so group 5. I think that you have just figured out your life purpose, and I think you are gung-ho to get to it. I think you're moving quite quickly. I think you're moving quite aggressively to get to your life purpose. I think whatever this is, it involves some kind of big change. I see you changing jobs. I see you changing maybe locations, maybe moving. I see some kind of big change or relocation here. And I see you leaving something that you have done for quite a while. Yeah, whatever this is you're leaving, you have done for quite a long time. It was quite rigid, quite structured, and maybe you felt a bit isolated. I do think it was like a corporate job, or some legitimate job, or some kind of education, or a city or a house or something that you've been in for a very long time, and you have just decided to leave it and to move it. And I'm guessing it was quite quick. It was just like okay, let's do this now. But I do think that you finally aligned to your life purpose. I think you have aligned to it. I think that there is just this strong, visionary, entrepreneurial spirit. You know what you want, you know how to accomplish it, and you are going to get it. I see a natural born leader here. I see someone who has a single-minded purpose to accomplish what they want to accomplish. So I think that you are exactly completely online with your life purpose, and you have a plan and a vision and an idea to get there. Your support is that you see opportunities when you have setbacks. You're quite grounded, but you also have this, this visionary ideas going on. You can just see how to make plans, and you can see ways to get over obstacles. You can see that you can make long-term plans super easily. So that is definitely something that is a big support when you go through this. You don't really have much fear, because you have a great trust that you can do this. You know that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish, and you view life as a gift. So you are very grateful for everything, every opportunity, any setback you get, you're extremely grateful, because you get to actually go through with this life purpose. I have a feeling that whatever you were doing before, you didn't quite enjoy very much. And so I think that you're just very grateful to be able to go off on this life purpose and to make it happen and make all of your your visionary dreams a reality. I get the impression that you're a healer. You're here to help heal people, whether that be spiritual or physical or mental. You're here to help people and to help them survive and to flourish. I do get the impression that you worked for a very, very long time to get here, and I feel like there's a lot of excitement to kind of actually get to finally put that out in the world. I do see that things are going to start to come easy for you now. I feel that you've aligned yourself properly, that things are kind of naturally just fall into line for you as well. So I do get a lot of feminine energy from this group. I see that in both these cards. The tiger is one of a fearless energy, one who kind of owns and finds strength in their own feminine energy. So talking lunar forces or sensitive energy or cyclical energy, and the softly touch also has feminine energy as well, and using the softness to kind of law of attraction to kind of bring things into you. So definitely practice law of attraction if you aren't currently, and maybe look at the lunar phases as well if that's something that you're into. I think a lot of you are going to be quite spiritual. Probably a spiritual healer going on here. So this is definitely someone who's going to be passionate about what they're doing. So I think you're going to be extremely passionate about your life's purpose. And you can see that in the Buffalo as well as the King of Rods as well as the Stork. All of this passion to kind of make this happen. I do see it happening quite easily. I see it just kind of falling into place. I see you've been working for a very long time to get to this to where you are. And now that you've kind of made this move, I see it's kind of happening quite quickly. So definitely continue law of attraction if you've been doing it. I think that will definitely help you kind of bring it in quicker. But I see it happening quite quickly and quite easily. You've been really working for this, and it's something that's manifesting in your life now, and quite quickly. Talents to develop, compassion, diplomacy, just emotional control and balance are some good talents to develop as well with this. And kind of blending your creativity, emotions, and your intuition together. I think really focusing on that spiritual aspect of it as well will really go far in this, just because we have the spirituality in both of these as well. It's also a good balance between head and heart. So keeping, the practical ability as well as the more sensual intuition side is a good skill to kind of balance those. Things to avoid developing: don't become too bogged down in your routine or doing things as you ought to do them, or trying to set these daily routines to make things happen, or be too focused on your outcomes or your goals. It's kind of focus on meshing the head and heart and following your sensitivity, and just kind of let things happen. You've been working very hard, things will kind of happen naturally, so kind of trying to force it and follow what you think is a set way to follow isn't the way to go. Kind of listen to your heart a little bit and just follow your intuition when you're going about your life's path, because any set way you do it is probably not going to work out when you're in such a creative, intuitive, healing life path. And a final parting word is: I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that I will grow, that what I focus on will grow. So just being authentically you, and having that trust that things will work out and it will grow. Just keep going with that trust, because it looks like you're on the right path. It looks like you've worked very hard. It looks like you're super excited to be moving forward, that you're actually making these movements forward. It looks like you have things coming to you as well, and you have the right mindset. You see things as opportunities instead of setbacks. So it definitely looks like you can focus on law of attraction to bring things to you. Keep working as hard as you are, but just trust that it's going to grow, because it looks like you're on your way. Yeah, thank you for watching.